Hi, thank you for joining us today. My name is Joel Phillips, CEO of Proshark, CTO of Strategic Advisor Board. Uh, Welcome to Ultimate Tech Talk. This is episode number 29, where we're going to really try to finish up e-commerce today. It's a very complex topic, and we didn't get through as much. We're trying to keep these episodes between 3 and 5 minutes. That is nowhere near enough time to talk about e-commerce. So we'll get as far as we can today. And then if we have to carry it over an extra day, we will. So yesterday we started giving a preface for e-commerce and what it takes to become successful. We discussed the elephant in the room, Amazon, and how they've been successful at doing what they do. They've trained their consumers over time. They spend a lot of money doing that. So we can either fight their training or we can get on board with how they've trained consumers and differentiate ourselves enough to where we can be successful at the e-com game. So who should be in e-commerce? All right. So this is a difficult topic for some because everybody wants to open a store and be wildly successful at it. And that's how they're going to make their fortune. Doesn't quite work that way. So let's take a look at the makeup of who should start an e-commerce store and who should not. If you're a solopreneur and you're on a very limited budget, you can certainly start an e-commerce store, and we certainly do not want to dissuade you from that. But understand that you're going to have a hard time growing without an ad budget, without a promotion budget. You're going to have a hard time growing organically, but your organic growth can happen. And depending on the popularity of your product or service, if we can get that moving viral, then that will increase your organic growth. Just understand that there's a lot of noise in the marketplace. We certainly do not want to dissuade you from doing it. We just want you to understand the challenges when you do take that on. So if you don't have money for promotion, you don't have money to put behind the store, then we need to examine the best ways to get your word out there. So not to dissuade you from doing it, but to understand those obstacles that you'll have. That's what you face as a solopreneur or just somebody who wants to get started in that. Treat it as a hobby to start, and then if it grows, it grows. We can help you do everything you need to do to impact organically, at least at some level, where you have the ability to be seen in the marketplace. One forgotten market, and I'm looking at the clock ticking away, and I don't think that we'll be able to finish this up today. But one particular market where, okay, we need to understand that people start their purchase decisions online. One particular market that belongs in the e-commerce space that's not there yet is our existing businesses with brick and mortar presence. So especially during 2020, and I know that people get tired of referencing that, but there was a movement because of everybody was at home. There was a movement to online at that time. And a lot of people became digital marketers. A lot of people jumped into the digital space. There's just not a whole bunch of knowledge in doing that, or I should say expertise. There's a lot of knowledge, but there's not necessarily a whole bunch of expertise that jumped into the space. What this did was created a huge wall of noise that people have to fight through. So one thing that brick and mortar did, and when I say brick and mortar, people who have physical presence in the marketplace, one thing that they did was they tried to turn to an online presence to or redefine their business model to capture some online sales. But there's a wealth of online entrepreneurs and business owners who have not yet made the decision to jump from brick and mortar to online because of challenges or because of the difficulty in creating an online presence that makes sense. So We want to appeal to those people because they're a perfect candidate for e-commerce. Now, that said, there's also the e-commerce people, business people who go into business understanding they need an ad budget, understanding they need a budget behind growing their brand online. But I will say that depending on the product or service you're offering, make sure you have an earnest conversation with whoever you want to turn to that is an expert in this space to understand the depth of the budget that you'll need to have to make an impact, because it is a crowded space. You can still do well with e-commerce, and it's not something that, again, I want to dissuade anybody from pursuing, but just understand the challenges that you'll have getting into that space. We are working to not be negative about it, but we're working to be realistic about it. So I think we are out of time again for today. I think we'll finish up e-commerce tomorrow and then move on. We're just about done with our website series. So please join us tomorrow to finish up e-commerce. We thank you for joining today and have a great day. Bye.